Well, hi. How are you? For those wondering what this is actually going to be a 13-part series. Yeah, I just said
13 parts.
I hate myself. That's why I'm doing this. In all honesty, I'm not just doing this because of other things. I actually said that I was going to make a 13-part series talking about, well, the O5 Council of the SCP universe, which I am going to, and we're going from highest to lowest number, which means we're going to be starting out with 13, ending with 1. And, well, you clicked on this and it said that it was the first one, so we gotta start with O513. And, oh boy. This one is a little bit of a controversial area topic, so let's do this. Oh boy, where do I begin? Well, O513 is one of the O5 members. He's actually, I believe, well, if it comes to age-wise, he's technically the youngest, if I remember correctly, and I'm reading this, so yeah. He is technically the youngest of the O5 Council, which is one of the weirder things, because you wouldn't think that, he would be the, low bar on this. However, the O513 that we all know and love is also one of those interesting things. To note, technically, O513 is not actually O5? It's odd. There's multiple constrictions and contradictory, well, notions, and it drives a lot of people insane because the simple truth is, well, we have no fucking idea who this motherfucker is. In all honesty, yes, we have no idea who O513 or any of the O5 are. However, when it comes to O513, that's where it gets really, really bad, because there are entries that are just weird. Speaking of which, before we get into it, yes, these are the entries. That means that these are the ideas of O513. Not set in stone, but not opposite either. Cigar break. Anyways. So, with that being said, we should start out with the first title that he's known by, which is O513, the Tiebreaker. Oh boy. O513 Tiebreaker basically is an entry that makes it so that way O513 doesn't exist. He technically does not exist. He is not an actual person. And when it comes down to it, and if the O5 need a, well, tiebreaker on a split decision, well, they more or less will rotate at, well, whoever the O5 Council thinks would be perfect for the time. And this ruling, yes, it has its own merits, and actually, when it comes to tie breaks, each of the O5 basically get another vote. It's more or less just that. Due to the fact that the O5 will start with O5-1, if there's a tie break, we'll go from O5-1. Then, and there's another, it goes to O5-2, and so on and so forth, all the way down to O5-12, where it repeats to O5-1. It's more or less the tiebreaker thing. It just does not make any sense. There are other methods, like the O5 actually selecting certain site commands to actually do a grand vote over their vote to actually put one vote towards either side. However, when it comes to it, it's just a bunch of convoluted bullshit, and honestly, it's just stupid. Then we go into O513 Timmel. Tillin? Is that Tillin? Timmel? Tamlin. O513 Tamlin is... oh boy. There actually is an O513... maybe? Possibly? Again, it's one of those weird things where we're still trying to think about it. There's either a man or a gender fluid person, possibly, that is of unknown age, possibly Middle Eastern descent, tall and redhead. Per the reports of the tiebreaker, we have seen a person of this quality or actual look. However, the individual, if asked, will always identify themselves as Dr. Joseph Tamlin. However, it doesn't make sense because, well, that person doesn't exist. And there also was occupants in the room of Tamlin's house, a hidden location revealed in SCP-1590, which is accessed through esoteric methods. However, it doesn't mean anything. It could, it might not. Like I said, 0513 has always been that weird middle child who doesn't know if they exist or not, nor do they actually choose to. It's one of those things where I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck am I looking at scenario. You know what I mean? 0513 proposal, the Mendeler. Mendeler. Mendeler? Mendeler. 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 Mendeler? Mendeler. Okay, long story short, it's basically just a male European descent, American origin, mid-30s, no unusual appearance. Yeah. That's it. In particular things, it's actually kind of surprising. Reports do not indicate any attempts on his life, yet the fact is, it's also one of those interesting ones because he technically does not exist, but he does. Again, 05, fuckery. They basically are super secret assholes. There's not much you can do about this. That being said, there are some things about this one which are just... oh, boy. For instance, there are people in low ranks that actually know of 0513 more than anybody else. Yet, they say that he does not act like an 05 half the time. Again, weird little thing trying to figure out what the hell's going on. However, he is an interesting person nonetheless. Oh yeah, this incident. For those that are wondering, back in the other video of, you know, the 05, not the 05, but the SCP administrators, 0513 death. Yeah, long story short, one of the administrators, I'm not gonna remember off the top of my head, but one of the administrators basically, well, more or less, killed one of the 05 on accident. Yep, they accidentally killed an 05, which was 0513. However, I want to make sure that this is put in writing. There does not exist SCP-006 or the Fountain of Youth. However, there has been multiple times where SCP-2000, which basically resets a council member, or resets the entire world, I should say, basically put through. Now, that's where it gets a little tricky with this. 0513 technically did die, and the Foundation tried everything to bring him back. And in fact, they actually did bring him back, which was an interesting topic I'm not going to get into. Let's just say he did some shady shit in the other world somehow, even though that in his report to the administrators and to the 05s, he basically stated that when he was dead, he could feel it. And this is one of the greatest secrets of the Foundation. They have kept it under wraps so freaking long that it's not even funny. 0513 basically told them that after he passed away, he could feel everything. His body rotting, his life force draining, everything. Even after they resurrected him, he said he never wishes to know what death is ever again. To the point where he even said, "I will never die again." Whew. Brings a kind of chill to your spine knowing that in this world, people that die, they don't just disappear. They're trapped in a meat husk until it's skeletalized and then turned to dust. Yeah, you're alive. That is this. No, moving on. 0513 proposal AI complex. Yeah. 0513 is basically just a fused consciousness of all the other 05s that was made via AI. Were you expecting something else in this fucking crazy universe? I mean, seriously, we have a dinosaur that doesn't die, a fucking blob that makes PTSD victims literally feel okay. Oh, and to top it all off, the cherry on top, we also have an extra-dimensional monster trying to break in and eradicate all universe because he's a sad boy. But in all honesty, yes, it is an AI-controlled person. However, their ideology and mindset is nothing more than just all of the 05s put together in an AI simulation that thinks it's actually alive. God damn, that is gonna be one fucked up Mother's or Father's Day for whoever the hell has to talk to him about that. 0513, The Activist. Huh. Okay. This one is just... if you want to go in and read it, I would suggest it because it's a little interesting. Due to the fact that, well, convoluted, fucking weird, but this one actually kind of made me do a double take, because it was found out that after the foundation was founded, 0513 came into existence from 10 years after it. After 0511 and 12 basically wanted to take a little trip over there to look for a place known as the Forbidden City. 0513 proposal, the Persian. Okay, this is actually going back to the other one. Most of these are actually kind of conjointed. Let's just say this. It was basically 057 was the one who introduced this person into making him 0513. However, this is where it gets really interesting, because 057 made 0513 due to suspicions towards 051 for more or less following the rules of the claimers of the Islamic artifacts. Literally, the reason 0513 was made was more or less so that way 051 wouldn't have control over, well, that specific group. Yeah, which was very, very weird, because the Foundation actually agreed with 051 on this. They should have taken control. However, after a long instance of what happened in the Middle East during the time of that, yeah, let's just say Dr. Bright ain't ever doing half the shit he wants anymore with that. That's another story for another time. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's just say this. It was not a fun time, and oh God almighty, oh Jesus, if you're going to read this, I would suggest making sure you're mentally prepared, because oh fuck, it gets bad. Rounding it out is 0513, the Pedestrian. I'ma just be honest with you. This is the funnest one of them all, and this is the one I want to be canon. The 05 Council literally picked up a guy, more or less from their construction groupings, and told him, hey, you're 0513. We need a tiebreaker. Come on in. We're dealing with this. What? I'm not joking when I say this. This was one of the more interesting things. Basically, additionally to this, it was during the whole Caesar incident, which I'm just going to say is just, well, fuck. For those that don't know, Caesar incident was around the time where the Chaos Insurgency was born, due to negligence on most of the 05's parts, primarily on one particular one. Long story short, this was just one of those interesting ones. And the reason why it's interesting is because 0513 doesn't have anomalous abilities. Yeah, he's just a plain Jane dude that just basically got told by the 05, hey, you helped us out of a jam, so now we're just going to make sure that you have a job and you got paid. Also, you're basically going to make sure that we're all not complete fucking idiots half the time. So yeah, that's 0513, and I hopefully you like this, because boy, this is going to be an interesting little 13-part series, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have and enjoyed this to the fullest. Also, don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe, and to ring that bell. Also, I would like you to know one little interesting fact about 0513 that not a lot of people know about, and I couldn't find it here. There was a theory going around with the Foundation people that 0513 was actually the Scarlet King. Yeah, that's not a joke. That's actually true, and I'm completely losing my freaking mind over that. However, with that being said, I thank again for you guys watching, and remember, always...